KUGAN CASSIUS, IFL TV, MTK Global in Los Angeles ahead of Wilder vs Fury. I'm joined by brother to Tyson Fury, Mr. Shane Fury, who I just realised I'm 10 years older than.
I'll do.
10 years?
It's quite a bit, isn't it?
I'm 37, you're 27. I've had a harsh life, to be honest. Had the final press conference today. I don't know what was going on.
I don't know myself, to be honest with you. I thought it was all. I sat down with all the intentions of just sitting down and watching it, and then it started getting a bit heated up there. You know, I'm a part of Tyson and that there. And listen, it's not his job to do any dirty work. That's what we're around for, you know.
What started it then? Obviously, they're head to head.
The head to head, I don't really understand it. Obviously, I understand the head to head, but the thing is, what do you do with a man what keeps on coming forward at you? He's shouting, he's deafening you, he's probably spitting in your face once he's doing it. I think the only thing you could do with him is either red butt him in the teeth or hook him. But Tyson don't want to do that because he wants to fight. Okay, now I don't think Deontay Wilder would be too bothered. But so that took place anyway, and it got a bit heated. And his entourage, you know, two boxers, you just leave them, two and let them, they're selling the fight, doing whatever they're doing. And then you've got his entourage calling my fighter, my brother, a bum, and you get knocked out and this and that. Well, we ain't saying it to Deontay Wilder, so I got up there. And then there was a couple of idiots giving it the bigger gangster job. And basically, if we're shouting, we're fighting. You know, if we want to shout, the next thing is a fight, no problem. Or else shut your mouth. And basically, one of them got cracked up the lug a couple of times. And from a gangster wanting to come and do you, he run back with his hands up in the air like he was a peacemaker. So it put him in their spot. And to be honest, it is what it is. A load of shit. Shit kick. But listen, you've got someone what's calling names, unnecessary names. What's not Wild, it's his team. Listen, if he calls names, he can have a fight. Simple. We'll fight on the stage. We'll fight outside. We'll do anything, and that's just the way it is.
Do you know what? I know. Look, Wilder's there with his lot. Tyson's obviously there with all yous, but I know when it comes to Team Fury, shall we say?
Yeah.
If things like transpire, I know it'll be an absolute riot because yous will actually just back up what you won't just sit there sort of shouting and screaming.
Listen, the last thing I want to do, or any one of my brothers or my people, we're all family people. We're not troublesome people. We don't want to cause no trouble. But if some man's shouting in your face, you know, if a man wants to get in my face and shout, I'm going to draw off and try and take his head off without him even saying anything. I'm not going to say I'm going to punch you. If he wants to shout in my face, I'll hit him. Simple. And that's what took place today. They thought it was going to be a nose-to-nose job, you know, pressing each other's foreheads. Tyson's obligated to do that. Tyson's exactly the same character as us. But Tyson's obligated to do that because it's his business. But when you got some strangers trying to belittle someone and you know, it is what it is. It's not going to take place with us. And we ain't no big dangerous people, but, you know, if a man tries to get in your face, tries to shout, and thinks he's intimidating because he might have a gold tooth in his head or something, he's getting that knocked out. Simple.
It looked like...
And it's seen, there was 20 men there, and they looked quite brave at the start. When it did take place, you know, you could see what happened. But we ain't there to do that. We're there. I'm here for one reason. I've been away from my wife and kids for 7 weeks time to get home. And I'm here for one reason, to support Tyson and to make him feel comfortable. And basically, if he wants me to go to the shop, I will do. Just joey him for him to make him feel comfortable. Because I know, deep down, you're only comfortable when you got your own people around you. Your brothers and that there. The people who you can trust, 100%. You know, Tyson, listen, I've said it many times, listen, I can't swim, but if Tyson fell off the back of a cruise ship, I'd be jumping in with him to die together. So that's just the way we are. So when someone's like that, you know, and you know that vice versa, you know, you've got to be more comfortable around them, haven't you? You know. And you can have all the friends you want, in my opinion. You just don't live up to that. So that's the way how we are. But it's all that today was a load of nonsense. There is no bad blood between Wilder and Tyson. Just business. But when these things occur, you know, I would have happily got stuck into Wilder today because my blood was up, and that's it. There's no issue with that. But realistically, is there any bad blood? No. Words get said, you press buttons, and it escalates from there. But apart from that, it's all normal stuff.
With crutches.
With crutches, I've got a leg what's ruined it totally for me. I've got a pair of 6-foot crutches what's giving me blisters underneath my armpits where I've been walking out of a week. It's ruined it for me, but what can we do? And I can't afford to go to the hospital out here because it'll cost me about 10,000 quid. And I've got no insurance either, so fucked. Sorry for swearing, but that's about it.
Oh, you could always lend it off Billy Joe. He's on to win 70 grand. No, he's put 70 grand on to win about 200 grand.
Listen, Billy Joe's a legend, isn't he? And with the money Billy Joe's got, it makes a difference, doesn't it? But listen, there ain't no doubt in my mind Tyson's going to do the job. So it's safe money. And Billy Joe knows Tyson. He knows him. And he knows what sort of fella he is. Tyson is exactly the same as Billy Joe. You know, if Tyson will go out and he's back. Do you know, for an example, it's not going to take place, and it never take place, but Wilder's outboxing Tyson and he's beating him on the outside. Tyson will then change his game plan, take it to him and bust him, you know. And if he can't do that, he'll try something else. Tyson's a trier, exactly like Billy Joe. They've got a good heart. They're actually fighting men. You know, there's not... You see, I quite understand boxing. I've been around it a long time, and in boxing, there's plenty of good boxers about, okay, but there's not a lot of good boxers what's actually fighting men. You know, Tony Bellew is a fighting man. That's why he's done what he's done. If Tony Bellew was a boxer, a great boxer, but never had the heart he's got, where would Tony Bellew be without his heart? You know, but he's a fighting man. When he's in that ring, he don't care. He's a fighting man, so he's done well in his career. There's not many of them about, and you're looking at one with Tyson and Billy Joe. The thing is, with travellers, even the men that can't fight thinks a fighting man. You know what I mean? They'll all have a fight for 40 minutes with someone on the same calibre. They might be not worth 2 rows of sheep shite, but they'll still have a go with the shirts off, fat bellies, tits out, busted noses and broken nose. You know, they all think they're fighting men. You know, that's just the way it is. There's not many fighting men in boxing. There's a few, but not many.
Who else would you say in Britain?
In Britain?
In your opinion?
Do you know what? I don't even know. You know, that's what I mean. There's not many fighting men. I couldn't name one unless I thought about it properly.
All right. Well, if any pop up in your mind, just chuck them in. Compare this to 3 years ago today, actually, coincidentally, out in Germany. Compare the kind of the pressure around Tyson. No one gave him a prayer in that fight.
Do you know what it is, KUGAN? I'm going to give you a long-winded answer. 3 years ago, Tyson fought Klitschko. But 10 years before that, or even 15 years before that, Tyson first went in the gym, okay, amateur boxing club. Within a month, he took over that gym, beat everyone up in there, and become some superstar. When he had his first amateur fight, amongst his brothers and his father, he was just going to be world champion. There was no question about that. Anything less than not being world champion, ruling the world, was a failure, okay? There was a couple of people, like there was a good trainer from London, went sparring down there, and he said, right, this man, he's unbelievable, he's definitely going to be British champion and all that rubbish. We went out there and said, he don't know what he's talking about. Total insult. He never even had a fight, yeah, because that's what he was going to be. When he fought Klitschko, there's no doubt. I never had a 2% doubt in my mind that Tyson wasn't going to do what he was doing. Tyson won, and done his job, but I wasn't happy with what he done, you know. I was happy when he done it because it was big and everything else. But was I really happy? No. Was Tyson really happy? No. Tyson didn't box the way how he could box. Okay, never done what he could do. But he done his job and it was a big occasion, he was happy. But the aim wasn't to win the world title. You know, that fair enough, he beat a legend of the sport, which obviously was a big thing, but it wasn't actually that big either when he won, because we actually knew what was going to take place and we was expecting, and anything less was a failure. You know, it wasn't that big for us, and that sounds terrible, but it wasn't that big for us because we already knew what it was going to be. I want Tyson to rule the world. You know, when he beat Klitschko, he was the best and all that carry on. But then people said he was Klitschko never threw no punches and so on. But the reason why Klitschko never threw no punches, because Tyson's got a thing about him where he'll punch you if you let him to. Okay. Now, if Klitschko put himself in danger, Tyson would counter him, and it probably would have been a knockout win for Tyson. Okay. Klitschko knows that in his own mind. There wasn't a reason why he never threw no punches, because he was in front of a man. And if he would have threw the punches, there would have been something coming back better. So yeah, with this fight, there was no doubt in my mind that it was going to win the Klitschko and everything else. It was 1,000%. This fight, I'm pretty much the same, but there's questions. You know, we understand what's going on. He's, he's been out the ring 3 years, 2 solid years. Living not like a normal person. You know, he went up to 27 stone, and it wasn't just the food, because he's put weight on tons of times and lost it, but he's went up heavy. He becomes something, and he was on stuff what I would have got beside a wall and someone could have shot me to say that that's not true. When he phoned me up, my dad phoned me and says, listen, he's failed a drugs test, this clown. I said, who? He says, Tyson. I says, what for? Cocaine. Oh, I said, don't be daft. Anyway, he said, yeah, it's true. I said, someone spiked him then. These drugs people, whatever. When it actually come out, yeah, I lost total respect for him. Do you know, he already was heavy and drinking like an alcoholic every day. You know, on moderation, right? If a man wants to drink once a weekend and go out, there's no problem with that. But when you're burning these, where he lives, there's plenty of alcoholics, okay? And he was burning these alcoholics out. He was having 2 days with one man. The man would say, listen, I've got to go to work, I've had enough. And then the next man would be on the job, he'd burn them out. When that's going through, I'm even lost what I'm saying now. Basically, he wasn't living right. He was sniffing cocaine on a weekly and daily basis, okay? Not in front of me, because he'd never do that. But obviously that's what was going on. You can't drink for a week and be fresh, whatever. And then he had the depression. You know, we didn't really understand all that job at first, but he had it, and it was terrible to be around. 1 minute he was all right, and 1 minute he'd give us a lot of false courage, saying he's going to come back, be sensible. You know what I mean? And the next minute, 10 minutes later, no, I want to die. I want to do this, do that. So that totally, at the time, was like, you're a fool. Avoid him. I was avoiding him. I'd go and see him every weekly. I'd go and see him twice a month. You know, it wasn't the same. He wasn't doing the same stuff. Like when I was out with him, if I went out, have a few beers with him, I was following him to the toilet because I didn't want him to do that with me. You know what I mean? So things have changed.
Why did you avoid him?
Because every time I'd go and see Tyson with the family, and I've all my clean clothes on, the best I've got. Kids would be nice. We'll be wanting a nice day out, and then he'd fetch you down like that. Whoever he was with, he wants to die. He wants to do this. He wants to do that. So that's what it was. But at the time, we didn't realise. He didn't know what he had. You know, or he didn't know what it was. But then I had a phone call. Who did I have a phone call off? Me dad. Tyson's in hospital. So I shot down to Lancaster. I've seen Tyson, this hero of mine, yeah, because in our family, listen, he's the foundations of it. Without Tyson doing what he's doing, we are nobody, you know, because this is what it's been for so many years. So I've seen my hero in the bed, looks like a 4-year-old child, wants some comfort. Yeah, thinking that he's telling me in our language that they're gonna get him and all this kind of. It was quite emotional. Anyway, so he's come out of the hospital and the people's come. You've had a whatever it is. He's had breakdown, whatever it was, and he wouldn't even. I had to sleep with him because he wasn't in the right mind. So when you go through that, it can go both ways. His training's gone unbelievable. Okay, he's got back into training. He's had 12 months solid training hard. He's had 2 fights. He's had hundreds of rounds of sparring. Okay, and since he's been back, he's the first minute, even when he was fat as a pig in the ring, his timing was there. Everything was right. So training wise and sparring wise, if you can go for that, and fitness wise and everything else, were perfect. But it ain't what I'm trying to say. It's not the same as Klitschko, because Klitschko was 1,000%. Okay, nothing was wrong. Even though this training camp's actually been a better training camp because there's been less problems in it. He's in better shape now than what he's ever been. But there is that question. There is the question. He has been out a long time, and we'll see. I do truly believe that he'll make an easy fight. Or he'll make it that easy of a fight. Tyson wants to prove a point. Let me tell you that at the minute, Deontay Wilder's got the impression of Tyson that he's been out the ring 2 years solid, 3 year time he gets in the ring with him. Okay, he can't take a punch because he's been put over by a cruiserweight. Okay, and he can't punch either. So them things are not true. Tyson can punch just as hard as any other heavyweight on the planet, if not harder. Okay, but the problem is Tyson's a boxer. Okay, and when you load up for big punches, he knows the consequences. You put yourself in firing range, you got a good chance of getting one back. And in heavyweight boxing, you'd be tipped upside down. Big punches they say they have glass chins, these big punchers, but they've only got glass chins because they're trying to land big bombs, so they get countered and get splattered. Tyson's not up to that. Tyson's had 20 knockouts, whatever it is, out of 26, whatever it is, but a good half of them he could have knocked out. He could have put out. He could have had a very a better punches record than what he has. But he's not interested in that. We ain't interested in that. He's a boxer for a reason. It's called boxing for a reason. The footwork of him. He's not 6'3" and can move and do what he can do. He's 6'9". He's a freak. He can move. I was watching him and Isaac on the bag. Isaac's 9 stone, and he was dancing around and doing this drill, whatever he was doing. And Isaac, you could see he was manufactured mover. Tyson was like floating. He was gliding. There's a difference. He is what he is, and he's not come this far to get beat by a one punch man. Whichever way you look at it.
From what you were talking about from roughly 2 years ago, and can you believe then from that point, from what you're saying to me, because a lot of it, we've heard bits of what's happened.
You've heard the same old stuff all the time,
yeah.
But I'm just saying.
We've heard bits of it, but from what you're talking about from 2 years ago, can you actually believe that he's at this point now where he's 2 days away from fighting Deontay Wilder in America for the WBC world title? Can you...
It's quite hard to believe, isn't it? It's quite hard to believe. At one point, I always thought he was going to come back and get back into training and do his job. But there was a point when I didn't think he was going to return, to be honest. He went that far, it sickened us, the full that we wasn't bothered if he returned or not. Because we wasn't going to have him returning when he wasn't 100%. But he's returned, 12 months, it's unbelievable. Did I think he was going to be doing this in 12 months? No. I don't think anyone would have predicted it, to be honest. Nor him. But he's had his fights, he feels good, he's in the best shape of his life. He'd be 18, I don't know what he would be. He'd be low 18s. And with the build of him, you'd think he was 19, low 19s. You know, he's a very big man. He's still got a bit of loose skin. When you go up to 27.5 stone and you come down within 12 months, you're not going to be ripped in that time. But if you're silly enough to look at a bit of loose skin, not a problem, because that's not what we're about. He's in tremendous shape. He's as fit as fire, as strong as a bull, and he can't do no more than what he's done.
Did you box?
I fiddled around with it a long time. I boxed
When?
from being 14 up until 18. But fiddled around with it. When I say fiddled around, I'd be in the gym. I'd be in the gym 3 a week, and then I'd go on a big session. Not a drinking session, but listen, at the time, women and just silliness. I obviously wasn't a boxer. It's all right being able to box. At the time, when I was on about, I was probably in the same way as Tyson, to be honest, but a couple of years behind. But being able to fight is a small chunk. It's probably a half of the circle. There's probably 5 or 6 more slices what you got to have. You know, I could box. I was sparring plenty of people and beating them up. British champions. I was doing well. I used to spar Tyson. You know, but being able to fight is one thing. I never liked training. I was always a bag hider. You know, I'd get behind the bag and tap it until someone looked at me. I'd never go jogging, and if I did go jogging, it was a big deal. Someone had to pressure me. And then one chance the boys would come and get me and we'd go off, right, we've gone, forget the gym. With Tyson, it was totally different. Tyson, we'd be having the best time of our lives. I'd be 15, 16, he'd be however old he was. And it made no difference where he was or what we was doing. If we couldn't get back for 6 o'clock for the gym, we wouldn't go. But if we could, we'd have a couple of hours there. I'd think, like, we're going to be there, we're going to be having a good time, he's not going to leave. And then he'd say, right, I'm going there, you're coming or not. And then I'd be all upset, wouldn't leave him. And you've ruined my day. But he'd go to the gym. We'll get back to the gym and do a bit of training, that'd be it.
What happened when you two sparred?
I used to punch the face right off of him. No, he used to give me brain damage. But we used to do it. Listen, do the best I could with him. Sometimes, early on in his professional career, I used to spar him and he couldn't get any sparring, and I used to go up there sparring, but obviously he'd kill me in about 4 seconds flat. But any sparring's better than none, isn't it? But yeah, but I was not a boxer. Wouldn't dream of calling myself a boxer. I used to go to the gym. I've been around it a long time. But calling myself a boxer is definitely not.
All right, fair enough. Okay. Do you want to get your wife in it?
She's all right. Leave it there. Do you want to get in, Alan? No, she's all right. She's a shy character, my missus.
She's all right. Shane, thank you very much for talking to IFL TV here in LA. Have you got anything else you'd like to add?
I'd just like to add that a lot of people's writing Tyson off. Okay, a lot of people. I'm listening to these interviews and there's it's when they're thinking about Joshua fights after and all this carry on. I'll just tell you this, it ain't taking place. Tyson's taking him to school and it become boring and then Tyson will knock him out. There's no way Tyson's losing to him. So that's about it. So don't underestimate the Gypsy King, because when he beats him, he's coming after Joshua, and he'll play with Joshua because he's made to measure for him, and that's the top end to it. And he's going to be running for a while, but you can run, but you can't hide. So that's all I've got to say. He's taken over. I couldn't wait for him to get to this stage, to get his body right, because all these other people he will play with, Whites and whoever's in the top 10, Tyson can beat with ease. You know, this is the dangerous fight out there for Tyson, and in my mind, he's going to do this quite comfortably. But the Joshua fight, I'd run for as long as you can, because when you fight Tyson, he'll box your ears off, and that's no disrespect to Joshua. He's a great man, isn't he? You know, beat everyone he's come across, and people saying he's fought soft opposition, but I can't see it. Povetkin, Klitschko and everyone else, but That's all irrelevant. But Tyson is made to measure for Tyson. And he won't be able to avoid Tyson's punches at all. And all the others, he'll play with it like a normal, just normal boxing match. This is the riskiest fight because Deontay Wilder's unpredictable. He's difficult, isn't he, to figure out. You don't really know what he's doing.
Yeah, unpredictable is probably the right word there as well. So.
He's unpredictable. So we'll see. That's me, all done.
Shane Fury, thank you very much. And yeah, 3 days to go and it's on.
See you later on. God bless.
See you later.